Hi, welcome to this part of tutorial. In this part we will learn about single character input functionality of C programming language. There are 6 functions involved, and this is one of those tutorials where we will need to use Cvideo command line for some reason. I'll show you why we will need to use Cvideo command line. So you can type in this program in your Eclipse IDE, and as usual set the build properties and compile it. Let's run it. Okay, so it is waiting for input, right? Note that even though we say single character input, actually these functions operate on integers. So if you mouse over the cursor on the function, you'll see the prototype returning an integer. Okay, but we already know that a character is essentially an integer type. But anyway, I am taking it as an integer. I am printing it as an integer. You can change integer x to char c, and you can do fput cc. No problem, it will work. But it will be treated as a character rather than as an integer. Okay. So it is waiting for a character. I press C. Now here green is your input, and black, which will be printed by Eclipse, will be the output. So okay, fput C printed it as C. No problem. Application terminated. So now I comment these two. Note that if you use fgetC, you need to pass the stdin parameter, that is, from which stream you want to take input. Since we are not doing file IO, we are doing keyboard and display, we must mention stdin. Then we want to display x, so we pass x comma stdout, and then we go here. Now we do the same thing, get C and put C. Now you will ask a question, well, what is the difference between get C and fget C? Both look same. What is the difference between put C and fput C? They also look the same, they do the same. So the difference is pretty simple. This is just like fput C. Put C is like fput C, get C is like fput C. The difference is only one, that get C and put C are implemented as a macro, which makes it fast. However, it may evaluate your stream argument more than once, and it is an exception to the general rule of macros. And put C is usually the best function to use for writing a single character. Similarly, get C is your best function to read a single character. Fair enough. So we run this one. I save it, so it will be automatically built. Okay, it says error. Okay, I removed the comments, so I need to put the comments again. It is built. Okay, it is again waiting for input. This time I will say Y. So green is my input. It printed Y. Fair enough. So now we will see the last one, getChar and putChar. Okay. Now getChar description says that it by default takes stdin as its argument, and putChar will take stdio out by default as your uh, uh, argument for fputC. That means using getchar and putchar, you cannot write two file streams, right? So let's run this one. Okay, now I say n. Okay, it prints n. No problem whatsoever. Now be ready for some fun. Okay, here we go. Okay, right? So now I have combined all three functions. Let's run it. Okay, ready? So enter 1. 1 was printed and the program terminates. Why my program was terminated? This is bad and ugly. It should have taken 3 inputs, right? Okay. Let us try to run the same program through Cvideo terminal, right? Okay. So I take 1. Okay, it prints 1. Good. And I'd say 2. Okay, it prints 2. Okay, so it takes 2 inputs. Eclipse takes 1 and it takes 2. Let me tell you this. Eclipse IDE's console is not very advanced. So it is kind of buggy. So we will rely on Cvideo because Cvideo's terminal is well written. Okay. But still we are able to input only 2 integers, right? 1 and 2. As you can see here, we are able to enter 2 inputs, 2 and 3. Okay, it does not allow you to input the third one. Why is that so? Okay, the answer lies in a very simple fact. Let's say I want to do this. So it gives me a prompt. I enter 2 and I press enter. So how many characters are going inside? 2 characters. One is a 2 and second is the escape sequence \n, right? So 2 is read by this. Now the turn for \n. So \n is read by this and nothing is printed for this. You get a \n printed rather. Now I enter 3 and enter 3 and \n. So 3 is printed for this, nothing for this. Nothing for \n and you don't get a chance to enter your third one, right? How to avoid this? Okay. This is not the proper place to tell this because this is rather odd place to discuss scanf. But anyway, I put 2 scanfs and with a white space between double quotes. This is a regex which will eat up all white spaces. Now we go to Cvideo and we run the same program. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So it worked, right? If you want, you can put a \n in between so that you can see a line between 1 and 2 and between 2 and 3. But that is of little consequence. So you see, when you are entering characters, things can get messy. That is why input is very tricky and it is very difficult to validate input properly in C. And C does not give you and does not help you a lot as other languages like Python or Java help its users. In the next part of the tutorial, I'll tell you about formatted input. Till then, happy coding. Bye.